Well, there's growing evidence from Turkey today that what we thought was going to happen in terms of the treatment and killing of large numbers of dogs is already beginning to happen. Within days of President Erdogan signing off a law that would allow municipalities across the country to start rounding up dogs and bringing them into so-called shelters, we're now seeing evidence that dogs are actually being killed, and that includes dogs with ear tags, and they're being dumped. So it looks like there's now a systematic effort being made in municipalities, particularly run by the AK party, to begin to round up and kill and dump large numbers of street animals. Now that is something that we were concerned about, that is something that we're now beginning to see happen, and there's no doubt the scale of the slaughter in the weeks ahead is going to increase rapidly. We are about to see in Turkey the largest destruction of dogs in the modern world, in a way that is going to shock not just people in Turkey but around the globe. This is something that President Erdogan is turning into a war on dogs for political purposes, to drive a wedge between the more religious conservative population that generally support him and the more secular population of the country that don't. He's trying to use this to undermine municipalities that he no longer controls. I'm pleased to see that opposition parties are making a stand and saying they won't implement these kill laws, that they will take this to the Supreme Court in Turkey, and that the public anger in the country is actually growing, not diminishing. We expect to see major protests in Ankara, Istanbul, and across the country in the days ahead. And there is growing recognition around the world now that this is something that people need to react to, with a boycott of the tourism industry in Turkey that brings in over 60% of the economy of the nation in a period of time when it's really in trouble with runaway inflation and real economic problems. Turkey cannot afford to lose Western tourists, but it is going to lose them, and large numbers of them, over the killing of these animals. There's also a message to other countries around the world not to find themselves in this situation. This could be avoided. It can be avoided. There is a practical way of neutering and spaying the dogs to reduce their numbers and to stop them reproducing. There's so much more that can be done to improve Turkey's shelters that are just not resourced properly. There's no need to be killing dogs in this brutal, horrible way. We're also seeing growing evidence that cats are being killed in so-called shelters in large numbers too. So this isn't just about dogs, it's also about cats in Turkey. A very, very worrying time, but we've got to keep up the pressure. We've got to keep campaigning to draw attention to this from within Turkey and outside of Turkey. We can't take our foot off the pedal on this one. We've got to try and force the Turkish government to back down and to see the error of their ways and the damage this is going to do to the Turkish economy. We've got to keep fighting it.